Hello, I have a couple things to say before we get into the main part of the video. Forgive me for addressing you from my bed. The whole video isn't gonna be like this, I promise. And also, hopefully you can ignore my friend back there. I'm sorry this intro segment ended up way too long. Hopefully you're down to listen to everything that I have to say because I have a lot to say, mostly about Sam as a real person, and I have my typical disclaimers that I'm gonna say in just a second. But please, if you can spare the 7 minutes, just listen to everything that I have to say, please. First of all, I want to make it abundantly clear that whenever I make these types of videos, I never mean any harm to the consumers of the content that I discuss. If you like Tokyo Soul or Yandere High School or AFMAO or whatever else, I'm really happy that you're able to find joy in that, and just because I poke fun at it doesn't mean that nobody else is allowed to like it. And as a reminder, I was in this space on the internet like 10 years ago when I was a kid. I'm not just some rando who's like, oh, look what these losers were watching on the internet in 2015. Like, no, I was there. Do not recite the deep magic to me, I was there when it was written. Any comments that I have to make are always directed at the creator and never the consumer. My videos are just for fun, and they're really, for the most part, not meant to be any deep, well thought out criticisms. It's more just a recap from a modern perspective. I know the original series were not meant to be taken this seriously. They weren't made with the intention of looking at it under a microscope like this. I know, I understand, but that's the bit, that's why it's funny. Second of all, in the comments of the first part, a lot of you wanted me to talk about the Wolf in Sheep's Clothing music video that goes with Yandere High School, but unfortunately there's not much for me to say since I can't include it because of copyright stuff. But just know that I did know about the song and the video even though I didn't really grow up watching the series beyond the first couple episodes. And I do think to this day I still know all the words. And honestly, it might still be on one of my playlists. So yeah, that's all I have to say for now. Sorry for interrupting. Thanks for watching as usual. I love you guys. Welcome back. This is the second part in my series where I'm talking about Samgladiator's Yandere High School series, and in this part I'm talking about Tokyo Soul, the sequel series. I feel like I said series like 5 fucking times. Thank you for all of the love on the first part, by the way. I was definitely not expecting it to do as well as it did, so thank you guys, you're the best. And before we get into the actual video, I immediately want to take back something that I said in the first part. At the end of my video, when I was recapping my feelings of the series as a whole, I said that this wasn't me calling for Sam to be cancelled. Well, I stand corrected. Turns out this guy's actually weird as fuck and I had no idea. That's my bad. A pretty big bad, actually. And if you didn't know about that either, I'll give you the rundown. In Yandere High School, there were a handful of controversial jokes, but I chalked it up as just being cringy 2015 edgelord humor. But it turns out in Sam's other series, he is way beyond the line of just edgelord humor. He makes one of his co-stars, Grian, act out being raped, and the situation is just not handled with any grace whatsoever. It's not a part of the story for any greater, important plot development reason, it just exists to make fun of victims of rape. And before I go on, I feel like it goes without saying that just because an author includes some traumatic or harmful event in their stories, that does not mean that they condone or fetishize those things. But this is not one of those instances. I'll insert some relevant clips here so that you guys get what I'm talking about.
Later. Soon. I want to die. Come on, lover boy. No, I'm gonna take you. You can't do this. You can't do this to me.
Where are they taking him?
I think they're taking him in there. What are they doing to him?
I don't know.
Grian, are you okay in there?
Oh my god. No.
Oh, he's having so much fun.
Oh god.
No.
What are they doing?
Oh, Jesus.
Grian?
What's going on over there?
Laugh for me.
Flex your thighs. It makes it go down easier. Flex the thighs.
Oh god, he's looking at me.
You're
You're able to see his face. This is fun.
Where's
My big fight finale.
No, please. Please, no.
Sam?
Okay, he's had enough. That was messy. Oh god, Grian? Grian, are you okay?
I think he's even less of a man now.
His dignity is gone.
Any that he had left has been destroyed.
You see his
Oh,
pants? They seem to rip the hole in his pants.
They are ripped a little bit. How did that happen?
Why do you have a tear in your pants?
What happened to your pants?
And also right here, it looks like they ripped off his hood and pulled his hair.
I'm gonna kill everyone! Oh god!
When people inevitably had a problem with all this, Sam handled the situation like shit, dodged all blame, and stood 10 toes down on all of his original words. Mind you, this screenshot, among many others, is from an argument between this man who was pushing 30 at the time and minors. When people continued to push Sam to, at the very least, include content warnings before his videos, he said that this would be infringing on his right to free speech. Obviously, one's right to free speech is important, but there's a time and place for everything. There's a reason they don't air South Park on Disney Channel. How many adults were watching Minecraft roleplay back in 2015? Probably not a lot, I imagine. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that kids were the main audience at the time, and some of these things just don't belong in a kids show. I also kind of had this discussion a little bit in the first part of my series. My conclusion, even back then before I knew how dubious all of this actually was that yeah, of course, parents are partially at fault if a child is watching something inappropriate unsupervised online. But some blame does fall on an adult posting content with things like murder, sexual assault, drug use, suicide, etc. in the medium of Minecraft. Kids like Minecraft. Parents generally know that Minecraft is for kids. It's unassuming. They don't expect it to be inappropriate. Some blame does fall on both sides regardless of how you want to twist it, and content creators are not suddenly absolved of guilt under the guise of free speech. Sam also allegedly treated his cast like shit, and there are some unconfirmed rumors that a lot of them went unpaid. Granted, the situation was never really professional from the beginning, and I doubt that many of these people were contractually bound, if any of them were, which is where things get kinda tricky. But with the rate that these videos were coming out and the views that they got in their prime, there were definitely some people that deserved to be paid for their work. But again, those are all rumors, and as far as I know, nothing to do with money has ever been confirmed. It's also worth noting that Sam doesn't talk to Grian or Taurtis anymore, and he seems pretty adamant that it's their fault and not his. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I find kinda hard to believe. The only thing that's confirmed is that Grian and Taurtis didn't like the direction that Sam was taking their characters, so they stopped working with him. Considering how long it's been since all of this originally went down, that may be all we ever know. But I am always gonna be on whatever side Grian is on. That's my goat. So now that we're all on the same page, if my tone seems different this video, that would be why. I'm not gonna be holding back on any bullying of Sam. It's my right to free speech if we're playing that game. Okay, now we can finally talk about the videos themselves. To preface, Yandere High School ended with Sam, Grian, Taurtis, and Dom being relocated to Tokyo under the Witness Protection Program, and Tokyo Soul is everything that happens following that. And I'll be honest, Yandere High School has always been weird, but Tokyo Soul makes it look so normal in comparison. I was sober watching Tokyo Soul, which is not something that I can confidently say about anything that I had to watch for my AFMAO videos or Yandere High School. But somehow, Tokyo Soul still made miles less sense than anything that I've ever had to watch so far. And that says so much. I had to watch werewolf incest for my street. Whatever you're expecting, just go ahead and make it 5 times weirder and you'll probably still be undershooting. There are genuine Lovecraftian horrors. That's not a joke. Cthulhu is a real, deeply important part of this series. And I want to preface everything that follows by saying, I promise, hand on my heart, I am not fucking with you. Everything that I'm about to discuss is 100% real, directly from Tokyo Soul, with no exaggerations and nothing important left out. If you don't believe me, please, I encourage you to watch the original for yourself. I promise, it's just as weird as I describe it. So let's just begin, shall we? The very first episode begins with the boys, minus Grian, getting off the train and arriving in Tokyo. And immediately, Sam wastes no time being racist.
This is probably not going to work out because we can't read Japanese, but at least I can speak Japanese now. Sushi wushi.
Dude, that's perfect.
We're off to a great start. They have a letter telling them that they have to meet someone named Kyu at a restaurant called Sushi Wushi. Cue more racism.
Sushi.
Yeah.
Did I sound Japanese? If I talk like this, I'm Japanese.
Oh yeah, you should definitely just talk like that.
Yeah.
So with that, they head to Sushi Wushi and meet up with Kyu, who brings the guys to where they'll be living. And also, they're followed around by this creepy old guy called Kuro, who calls them fresh meat. And Kuro is just around for the rest of the series just for the sake of being a creep. More on that later. So the boys go to bed that night and wake up the next day for their first day at their new school. Once they get there, they speak with this guy called Senor Loro, who's in a luchador mask. This series manages to make racy jokes about every culture, huh? Senor Loro forces them all into a trap where they have to duel for their schedules. This is one of the most normal things that happens in this series, so just get used to it. They get their schedules eventually, and they head to their first class of the day, agriculture with Tori, as in Toriel. Oh, 2015, how dear you are to me. Not much happens in her class though, just the creepy old guy Kuro staring at them from outside. Their second class is health with Dr. Nurse MD, who looks a lot like Dr. Mario, so I'm just gonna be calling him that for the remainder of the series. He begins his first class with the boys by choking Taurtis out. Interesting. And then encouraging all of his other students to do the same. This is not even close to the weirdest thing that Dr. Mario will do, and I think that Nintendo should sue Sam for using Mario's likeness. During lunch, the boys wander around and try to find a place to eat. They find themselves in the girls' locker room, where they search through the lockers filled with exclusively panties, and Sam steals a pair for himself. And breaking news, water is still wet. They make it to gym class eventually with gym teacher Helena. Who cares how you pronounce it, she stops showing up about halfway through the series. Throughout the whole class, Helena keeps making creepy comments towards Kiyu, the only girl in the class. And that creepy behavior towards women remains for the entire time she's in the series. Given Sam's weird track record about how he speaks on minorities, I don't like this narrative that we're creating about predatory lesbians. And then she starts beating the fuck out of Sam and Taurtis. Gym teachers are just always like that in this universe, I guess. Their final class of the day is with this really unusual teacher, Professor Geode. His room is all weird and fucked up, and he refers to the students as his subjects and the class as his experiment. The first assignment he gives them is also extremely weird, encouraging students to bring blood to class. He then starts acting really weird to Taurtis specifically, smelling him and calling him the one. He takes Taurtis' hair and says that his plan will be a success and proceeds to go on about world domination.
That's not even funny, man.
Taurtis and Sam tell Senior Loro about this concerning behavior, but he brushes it off and calls it classic Geode. As usual, all of the authority in this universe is fucking useless. But thank God, Grian is finally returning, and the boys go to pick him up from the train station. When he arrives, he says that he got sent to Canada instead of Tokyo, and he accuses Sam of being responsible.
I don't know who was responsible for that, but you sent me halfway around the globe.
Yeah.
Where did you go? Canada. What?
That's not my. Why are you looking at me when you say that? That wasn't my fault.
I just feel like
Why
you just gave me the wrong ticket, that's all.
We never really find out if this is true, but I will say I trust Grian's word way more than I trust Sam's. Grian immediately gets back to his role as justice enforcer, and he starts calling Sam and Taurtis out on their bullshit.
Hey, does that guy
Wait.
remind you of anyone?
Reminds me of like that burn victim I saw on the launch.
High five, zing!
You probably shouldn't say that sort of stuff to their face, you know? Oh, I didn't think you would. It's a bit taboo to like go up to someone's face and say you look like a burn victim.
Why? We're in
Because it's,
Japan.
it's a little insulting.
He was only missing for 5 episodes, but god did I miss him. Anyway, as the guys walk to school, we see that directly across from the front gate of the school is a panty shop, owned by the creepy old guy Kuro. He makes a comment about Grian having nice legs, and during the school day we see him wandering around dressed as a schoolgirl. This guy genuinely has no greater purpose to the plot than to just be a fucking weirdo. And this goes back to my point a few minutes ago about how this very obvious adult joke does not belong in this medium. That's how kids end up being groomed when they're taught that sexual assault is a joke and not something to be taken seriously. Oh, also as an aside, as they're speaking to Kuro, Grian comes out as gay. Congrats.
You like girls, right?
real
No,
girl.
I'm into dudes. All right. Oh,
Really?
yeah.
Once the guys walk into school, they see that one of Senior Loro's pet goats has been slaughtered, and its guts are all over the floor. This distresses him. Later in the day, the boys find more dead goat guts in the girls' locker room. Fork found in kitchen. Wait, that's not right. They go to tell Senior Loro about their findings, and Taurtis delivers the news in the form of song, as is tradition.
Senor Loro, your sheep is dead.
It was shot in the head.
Now he's just a head.
dead
Someone's
head.
going around and killing all your sheep goats.
Senior Loro reveals that actually several of his goats are missing, and he needs the boys' help to find them. So, as is the natural progression of things, he gives them all crystals of Tenochtitlan. Yeah, like the capital of the Aztec Empire, the ancient civilization. And these crystals allow them to speak to animals. We'll get back to that in a minute, but for now, it gets even weirder. After gym, where Helena is more creepy to girls and Kuro seems to be getting off to the side of the students competing, so you know, the usual. The boys make their way to Professor Geode's class. There, Taurtis is asked to sit in this throne at the front of the class, and Sam is asked to milk the innocent one. The innocent one being Dom, who is now in a test tube in the back of the room.
Is Dom in a test tube?
Why do I sit there?
How did Dom get in a test tube over there?
Sam is confused on how he is to milk Dom. Valid concern. Professor Geode insists, and Sam is still at a loss, so Geode does it himself. Somehow. He takes this milk along with some other objects, including Taurtis's hair from earlier, and places them all onto a table in the center of the room. And then he claims to have successfully cloned Taurtis. However, there's no clone to be seen, for now. It's also worth noting that many students are beginning to question whether Professor Geode is a human or not, and many of them theorize that he might actually be an alien. This all comes back around in a little bit. So the boys leave Professor Geode's class and find a goat running around the halls, so they chase after it.
We have to use the crystals to talk to the sheep. This makes sense.
They use their Tenochtitlan crystals to communicate with him, and they find out that his name is Jorge. The boys show him the decapitated head of his comrade, and Jorge says that he saw who killed them. But before he tells us, we have to go on this ass side quest. He says that he can't tell them all the details right now because his girlfriend is waiting for him. They follow him to the computer lab where we find out that his girlfriend is actually online. They're e-dating, and they never actually met in person before. Jorge says that he'll tell the boys what they want to know about the goat killer if they can help set him up on a real date with his e-girlfriend. So the boys take him to the hottest place in town, the panty shop. Regardless of how unusual that is, Jorge and his girlfriend, or actually partner of ambiguous gender, hit it off pretty well. So Jorge fulfills his end of the deal and says that it was the Chupacabra that killed the goats. Oh, of course, why didn't I think of that? And the murders happened on the school soccer field. And Senor Loro says that they're gonna go hunt down the Chupacabra. Historically, not something that you can just go do on a whim, but stranger things have happened in this universe. Loro gives the boys a bunch of guns, and not no puny handguns, he gives them fucking sniper rifles. He just has an abundance of them laying around. They all head out to the soccer field where they find more goat guts, and Senor Loro finds the Chupacabra's lair under the bleachers. And we can say for sure with full confidence that this is the Chupacabra's lair because it's labeled as such. Nobody noticed this a little sooner? They all start shooting at him and they chase him down into the sewers, where they very quickly lose sight of him. But they also find every other fucking resident of this town down here because it's just the hot new place to hang, I guess. The gang has to end their search down here though because the Chupacabra escaped and it's getting late. The next morning, Taurtis is missing, and Senor Loro says that he was taken overnight because his visa was invalid and he got deported. Everyone thought Taurtis was Japanese, but turns out he's actually from Sri Lanka. Add that to the character wiki page. The moral of the story is that Taurtis is gone for now, but he'll be back eventually. In a way. For now, Sam and Grian are broke as shit, and they need to get jobs. So they interview to work at this grocery store where they're asked a bunch of strange, invasive questions, but they're almost immediately hired and begin working straight away regardless. And Sam is literally selling transgender surgeries at the supermarket.
Ow, okay, this shovel turns people, it changes their genders. Just buy it.
This is what Republicans think happens in public schools. Anyway, their co-worker Jason is kind of an ass, and he makes very quick enemies of Sam and Grian. Their rivalry escalates over the course of a couple episodes, and it all culminates in Sam and Grian trying to waterboard Jason in the bathroom. They are unsuccessful. They decide that they'd rather quit than work with Jason, so they do. What a massive waste of my time. Taurtis is back now. Hooray. They find him wandering around outside their house, and he says that he wasn't deported like Senor Loro said. He claims to have just woken up in the middle of the street somewhere far away, and he spent the last couple days making his way back here.
Oh my god, I've been wandering around for like 3 days.
Where did you go?
I don't know, I went to bed and then I woke up and I was in the middle of the street and someone took my wristbands.
Yeah, that's true, you don't have wristbands. Where are your wristbands?
I don't know, why would someone steal those?
Wait, I thought you were deported. That's what.
Yeah, Senor Loro told us you were deported. I got deported?
That's what Senor Loro told us. What
he
do you
deported me
remember?
from my house to the middle of the street somewhere random in Tokyo.
And I'll spare you the trouble right now. This isn't actually Taurtis. This is a clone, like the clone Professor Geode was talking about. We never see the original Taurtis again, but this Taurtis is functionally identical to the original. He has all the same memories, he acts the same, he talks the same, he's still voiced. There are no major differences. Don't worry, the clone stuff will be explained in a little bit, but for now, none of the main characters know that Taurtis is a clone. Only only we do because I just told you. In the meantime, Sam and Grian decide that they have to kill Jason.
Grian and I decided that we need to kill Jason.
Rational conclusion to come to? As they're on the hunt, Taurtis, who has never met Jason by this point, is asking for some descriptors. And Sam says that he's worse than Hitler.
He was just the worst human being imaginable. Worse than Hitler when you get right down to
Really?
brass
Oh,
tacks.
wow.
I wouldn't go that far. They stalk him around the town for a little, and turns out he's actually a pretty nice dude, donating to charity and buying flowers for a girl. Once he's finally alone, Sam just starts shooting at him in the middle of the street. Ethical Taurtis tries to stop Sam, but Sam and Grian chase Jason into the school. They follow him around for a bit longer, tracking him with a trail of blood he's leaving behind, and eventually they end up on the roof. On the roof, they're met by a second Taurtis called Taurtis 69, which implies the existence of 68 prior Taurtises. Taurtis 69 begs the boys for help and says they're killing us down at the pool. Before he can get anything else out, he fucking explodes.
Do you see
What
that
the-
laser? At the pool.
What, he
oh
just
my god, he
died?
just exploded!
So they abandon their mission to kill Jason in favor of this weird, way more interesting Taurtis clone situation, and head back into the school. In the hallways, they find multiple other Taurtises hanging from the ceiling. They try to kill them to put them out of their misery, but they can't die. The boys make their way down to the pool as Taurtis 69 told them to do, where they find Professor Geode wearing Taurtis's face as a mask and sitting on top of a machine that is actively making several Taurtis clones. He says that this machine is powered by the moon and chants, "All hail the Moon Lord." We're only about a quarter of the way done with this series and we have already fully surpassed all of the weirdness from Yandere High School. And we are not even close to maximum power. So the boys all get trapped in the pool with all of the Taurtis clones, and lo and behold, the one to save them all is fucking Jason, our hero. Once they've escaped the school, they've left with a handful of Taurtises instead of just one, so now they have to determine which is the real one. But little do they know, it's actually none of them. So Sam and Grian ask them all a bunch of questions to see if they can weed out who's fake, and it's kinda creepy in a way. Taurtis 69 keeps insisting that he is a real boy, but also didn't we watch him explode on the roof earlier? You guys warned me about the clone stuff in the comments of the last video, but I did not think that it would happen this quickly and to this extent. And leave it to Sam to make things unnecessarily weird, the next morning we see that he's made all of the Taurtises into his slaves that do his bidding around the house.
I am hungry, I am parched. Make me a meal, Taurtises.
You can't just turn us into your slaves.
Make me
This
a
is
meal.
literally slavery, Sam.
This is slavery.
You're literally a slave
I
master.
He literally says that he's going to brand them all with cattle prods, and they call him Master.
Okay,
You will
sorry.
be labeled as Taurtis A. We will be
Taurtis A?
branding you.
What?
I got a cow, a cattle prod. I will brand you probably when we get home from school.
Absolutely way too fucking far. And as the cherry on top, Grian is missing this episode, which means that things are going to be weirder than normal. And I'm immediately proven right.
You're all like, you all look alike.
Wow. Wow.
And it's not because you're clones.
What? What?
It's because you're Asian.
And even worse, he says that he's going to auction off the Taurtises that he doesn't like a slave auction.
I will be auctioning off my best tortoises. If you would like to acquire such a tortoise, you may buy them from the distributor myself.
I am so genuinely perturbed. Their creepy gym teacher Helena shows up and asks if any of them are female. Somebody investigate her. Professor Geode shows up and says that he'll buy a tortoise back for 100 billion yen. Before Sam can continue selling these people, Senor Laurel puts a stop to the slave trade, saying, "Not again. Bring Grian back, please. I know he would not have let any of this slide if he were here right now." But alas, he's not, and things are about to get even weirder. First of all, when they arrive to their first class with Tori, she's found dead with her head hanging from the fucking ceiling and her blood all over the floor. Will I ever catch a fucking break in this series? So they leave Tori's class and head over to Dr. Mario's class, where he and Sam are immediately really racist, banishing all of the Taurtises to the back of the room and calling them scum.
Tortoises have to sit in the back. Disgusting scum. Yeah, that's right. Sit in the back, tortoises. Jerry's sitting close to the front, Dr. Nurse. Put him in the back. Make sure he sits in the back with all the other tortoises.
When Taurtis tries to call Sam out for his racism, Sam doesn't seem fazed. In fact, he seems proud.
You're promoting slavery. How is this
No,
not messed up?
I'm not promoting slavery. I am the
Encouraging
one
it.
who owns the slaves.
Yeah,
I am slavery.
And just to make everything 100 times weirder, Dr. Mario puts Taurtis in a sexy nurse outfit, straight up saying it's his fetish, and then creepy old guy Kuro shows up and blatantly is attempting to sexually assault Taurtis with the help of Dr. Mario.
Put this on, boy.
What is that? Is that a nurse outfit?
Just put it on, dude.
It looks like a nurse outfit.
Just put it on, dude.
Like, you can't just dress me
Just put it on!
up. Okay. So this is part of like some of your sick fantasy?
This is Dr. Nurse wants it.
No, this is you.
This is Dr. Nurse.
No, you're just using Dr. Nurse to fulfill your sick fantasy of having in a
No.
nurse outfit.
No. Okay, so you've got your lovely outfit on there, Tortoise.
I feel this is too revealing, Sam.
Looking good.
I feel like everyone's staring at my butt.
No. Can you bend over for us?
I mean, how does it look? Oh,
You.
that creepy guy's here.
I volunteer.
What? No. He's not. He doesn't go to this. Why does he have panties? Oh, okay, he's standing a little close.
Just do the lesson, Tortoise.
I'm doing the lesson. I'm here.
Just stay still, boy.
No, I'm not. He's sniffing me. It's weird.
Just stand still. It's part of the lesson. It's part of
What
the
is
lesson.
the lesson? What are we learning here? We're learning how
I'm
to
gonna
stop
tell you
sexual
what to do.
harassment. He doesn't even go here.
You
He
have
owns
to
a
tell
panty
him your
shop.
social security number and your address. And also give him your panties.
No.
What fucking dark timeline did I just enter? At the end of class, they're all given their homework assignment, which is just to recreate the scene between Taurtis and Kuro with any adult over 40. Jesus fucking Christ. Remember, this isn't Adult Swim, this is a Minecraft roleplay with a primarily child audience. The bell rings and everyone heads to gym, where the tortoises all have horrible PTSD flashbacks to their creation. Anyway, in the locker room, Taurtis comes across a letter written for Sam from one of the other tortoises, saying that they don't have long to live because Professor Geode will kill them for their army.
To my dear friends, I now know that I do not have long to live. Geode plans on killing me for his clone army. I accept that there is nothing I can do to stop it. So thank you, Sam. You've been there for me. All the times we laughed, all the times we cried, and all the times we did nothing at all. Every moment and memory we've shared, it's the best life a guy like me could ask for. So thank you, Sam, for everything. I love you like a brother.
And Taurtis is starting to realize that he may not be the original tortoise after all. And one of the tortoises sneaks into the girls' locker room to steal underwear for Sam. Can't go 5 minutes without being a perv, can we? And speaking of perv, after school, Sam tries to make Taurtis beat up a different tortoise, and the whole thing just feels super weird.
Hit default Tortoise.
No.
He wants it. He
Same
likes
eyes.
to.
Does
He
like
likes it.
Beat
Beat
me,
me,
bad
bad
boy.
boy.
No, this seems very fetishy. I don't like-
You dressed up as a nurse, beating yourself up. How is that fetishy?
I don't want to do that. I feel very uncomfortable doing that. That makes me very uncomfortable.
Okay.
Can we just go home?
The turn that these last couple of episodes have taken is genuinely unprecedented. Someone get Taurtis out of this situation immediately. Free my boy. The next day, something is wrong with the tortoises. They've started spontaneously exploding. The other tortoises panic and say that it's their time and they're all going to die unless they get Dr. Geode's antidote. So they all head to school where they find a new teacher called Mr. Chupa, who looks a lot like the Chupacabra. He's replacing Tori after the accident. But I'm sorry, I can't bring myself to care all that much about the Chupacabra stuff when I'm faced with the much weirder tortoise clone slavery thing. Later in the day, Sam, Taurtis, other tortoises, and Dom leave to go find Professor Geode's house and therefore the antidote. Once they arrive and get inside, they find a lab filled with strange experiments, cages, and giant test tubes. They head deeper inside and find a vault, and inside the vault is icky, sticky tortoise gloop. Yeah, I'm not touching that. But Taurtis does, and so does the other slightly off tortoise clone that they've decided to call Jerry. Taurtis is fine, but Jerry is not. His head starts pulsating and he vomits blood. Walk it off, you'll be fine. Grian is back next episode, thank fucking God, but he's not alone. He says that they all need to go to the train station to pick up his friend from back home. and the friend ends up being LD fucking Shadow Lady, otherwise known as Lizzie, the queen herself. And I'm unironically still a huge fan of her. She's managed to immediately convince everyone that she's the Queen of England.
Because I'm the queen of England, after all.
She is the queen.
Oh, you told them?
She may not actually be the queen, but she's my queen. Normal weirdness of the school day ensues. Mr. Chupa pulls a knife on his students, some kids get caught on fire, some die, survival of the fittest. Weirdest of all, creepy old guy Kuro seems to have some weird affinity for Lizzie. He steals her clothes and wears them out, and nobody stops him. Huh. During Mr. Geode's class, he asks for test subjects to help him build some beacons around the school so he can contact his superiors. He gives out instructions that say that this beacon building process will make the world burn, and the students do it anyways, despite Grian's protests. As they're building the beacons, creepy old man Kuro runs past the gang, still wearing Lizzie's clothes, so they run after him. The group decides to break into his house where they find a shrine dedicated to Lizzie and a diary where he talks about his infatuation for her and his desire to kidnap her.
Read it out to us.
Today, I saw a lovely young girl. She had the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen in my life. I want to make her heart mine.
So
and
romantic.
Put it in a jar.
And put the heart in a
Put
jar.
my heart in a jar. The hair is so lovely, like fine silken wool. Its colors so bright and lively, pink like cotton candy. I must make it mine as well. Oh no, he's gonna steal my hair as well and make it into a wig. Her voice, that foreign accent, I enjoy listening to it like music. It enchants me like a siren. I can listen to it forever. I'm gonna parrot her cute little vocals and make them my own.
Because none of these people value their safety, they explore further into his house where they find a suspiciously human-sized cage. But Kuro comes home before they can examine further and they all have to escape without getting caught. Thankfully, they're all successful, and the next morning, Lizzie has gone home, presumably. We never actually see her leave. In fact, several episodes later, it's actually implied that Kuro is holding her hostage, but nobody ever actually does anything about it.
We got a report of screaming in your house.
Someone's in his dungeon, dude.
A loud screaming, you must mean this new kids music. Screamo! I was rocking out to it.
Maybe he's a YouTuber.
He was just to that. Yeah, he's just jamming out.
Dude, you hear that?
It's probably just his music.
Remember Lizzie?
Yeah, she was
You can't
Queen
hear
of
the
England.
muffled chokes.
The next day, the boys head outside and see all of Professor Geode's beacons complete and some crashed alien spaceships around the town. Who cares about alien spaceships though? We have to go pick up another friend from the train station. Except this guy's actually not my friend, he's my enemy. It's fucking Jinbop. As in, Skyda's Minecraft's friend who actually went to jail for touching kids. That's not an exaggeration, he went to jail for like 6 years.
Where's
Right,
that
right,
police
Sam?
officer? Is that police officer around here?
This guy fucking sucks. And Jerry, of all people, immediately clocks that Jin is suspicious. If only he fucking knew. Also, the train station is Professor Geode picking up his grandma and grandpa, who are definitely aliens. Like, they're green. And we overhear them talking about their ride from space. Grian is the first to say that they're aliens given their discussion of space travel and brain worms, but somehow Sam flips this on him and says that he's racist for thinking they're not human.
Yeah, just because they're not like us doesn't therefore mean that they're not people.
Talk about the pot calling the kettle black. Whatever though, Professor Geode's origin is not really ever that important. Anyway, Jin is permanently moving into the city. Don't worry though, he's not a recurring character. Thank God. The group makes it to Jin's new apartment complex, and the people that work there are a bit strange. Like, there's someone in a bikini and a Pepe mask that they call Wench that does their bidding. What the hell ever. The owners of the complex also seem to be members of the Italian Mafia, and they ask Jin to sell special sugar. Lord, when will it end? Jin agrees, and turns out the guy they're supposed to sell to is creepy old guy Kuro. They almost immediately get busted by the cops, and they run away back to the apartment complex, where they realize that Jin gave Kuro the special sugar but never got any money in return. So now, not only are they drug-selling criminals, they are indebted to the Mafia. That's kind of the norm for our main cast, so they just go home and go to bed as usual. The next morning, Taurtis is missing. I sure hope this isn't related to our debt to the Mafia. When Sam and Grian walk into school that day, they see a man standing in the entryway by the name of Ronald Drump, and he's running for the president of Japan. Which, for the record, isn't real. Japan has prime ministers, not presidents. And he says that a vote for him is a vote for slavery. A little too topical in 2025. And given Sam's track record, he is just absolutely delighted.
Well, I do like slavery.
And Drump just goes on and on with the topical quotes. A vote for me is a vote for $1 million, to me. And if you vote for Drump, say goodbye to your hopes of having a well-paid job. Like, holy shit. This came out in February of 2016, by the way. Obama was still president. Anyway, back to the lore. The police approach Grian and Sam and tell them that Okami needs to meet with them. Like Okami from Yandere High School, their old teacher and also member of SWAT. They get brought back to the police station where they meet with Okami, Silly, and Pufferfish Pete, and the boys get told that their help is required to defend against aliens invading Earth, and Okami is going to train them to lead the next raid. We didn't have anyone more qualified than 2 high school students? And also, what the fuck? So they get all geared up and they head to the hospital with an entire squad of people. Crabman Carl is a cop and seems to be the one directing this whole operation, and he says that some aliens have infiltrated the hospital and that they may have taken over the minds of some humans, so some people may have to die for the cause. So they head in, and immediately this Drump guy's in the reception area. He says that a vote for him is a vote for mandatory suicide. Tell me about it. Sam and Grian approach him and start asking him some questions to see if they can determine whether he's a human or an alien. He can't answer basic questions, so they kill him. Turns out he's not actually an alien, he's just a stupid human. And also he has some special sugar in his belongings. So with the topical politics out of the way, Sam leads the charge throughout the hospital in search for the aliens. It's basically just straight murder of both humans and aliens for an episode and a half, and it's not even all that worth it because they let one of the aliens escape in the end. They are all piss poor shots, holy shit, this is just hard to watch. With that, the mission is over. And honestly, thinking ahead, that entire thing was extremely pointless. Everything's pointless. Does anyone else suddenly feel an impending sense of doom? The next morning, a mobster shows up to the boys' house and says that their friend, presumably Taurtis, will be sleeping with the fishes tonight unless they bring him the money that Jin owes them. Sorry, that was my Italian mobster impersonation. Turns out, Jin owes the Mafia 2 million yen. Look, I don't know a lot about coke, I don't do that. But whatever they had Jin delivering a couple episodes ago could not have been worth all that. But what can you do against the Mafia? Probably nothing. So Sam and Grian decide that they're gonna rob their previous place of employment, the grocery store, to get some cash. The plan is in motion. The boys break in wearing masks. Things escalate and they end up shooting some people and killing a cop before they flee the scene. Just when they think they've made it out, the cops find them and they get sent to jail. And if this universe were normal, this would probably be the end of Sam and Grian's story. But of course it's not, and the cops need these high schoolers to help take down the Mafia.
If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Okay, time's up.
The plan is that they're gonna send Grian into the Mafia's base while wearing a wire so the cops can listen in. And as Grian is distracting them, Sam and some other cops are gonna infiltrate and take out some of the Mafia members. Honestly, the whole sequence could be kinda cool in a universe that made sense. Like, by itself, it's giving Metal Gear Solid, and I love Metal Gear Solid. But this was originally a story about a high school murder mystery, so it's a bit out of place. Grian is asking some incriminating questions and Sam is sneak killing some people. It's cool, I hesitantly admit. Once they get a visual confirmation that Taurtis is alive, Sam jumps down and starts shooting, and he is such a bad shot, holy shit, I think he whiffed just about every single one. Once the warehouse is clear of all the Mafia members, they go and rescue Taurtis, but turns out this Taurtis isn't actually the real Taurtis, it's fucking Jerry. The real Taurtis is still missing. And in this whole altercation, Grian got stabbed, so they go to the hospital, but I don't know, he seems alright to me. And then, Grian may or may not get assaulted by a staff member, but we laugh it off, ha ha ha.
Oh!
Hopefully you get better, Grian. I'm just gonna wait here.
That's not the right place.
Boop-a-doop-a-doo, just a
That's my
wonderful
nipple.
day.
He's fine the very next morning, though. No time to think about that, though. Taurtis storms into the house with a gun, demanding to know what happened. But nobody knows what the hell he's talking about. Can you be a little more specific? He goes on about some weird dream he had, and he says that some slimy green people told him the truth.
And then I woke up and then they told me you guys abducted me and that you're the aliens. The slimy green people told me.
Whatever that means. Spoiler, never brought up again. Regardless of how concerning this new information is, everyone gets ready to go to school, and when they check their mail, they find that Sam has been delivered a letter from a secret admirer. And lo and behold, the secret admirer is actually Invader from Yandere High School, who has transferred schools to Tokyo. The more people to terrorize Sam, the better, as I always say. During Mr. Chupa's class, they perform a ritual that causes the ritual subject, this side character called Igbar, to consume another student.
He just,
He just swallowed him all.
he just consumed Gloob's soul.
And then suddenly it turns out that they've summoned the soul of Cthulhu using Igbar as a sort of vessel. They get to ask the all-knowing Cthulhu some questions, and Taurtis decides to ask him what Sam's true motive is in their friendship.
What is Sam's actual motive for being friends with us? Is this all part of some greater plan, or is he just tricking us all in order to trap us?
But the bell rings before Cthulhu can answer, so I guess we'll never know. After some unrelated bullshit, Rowan from Yandere High School shows up in this overpowered Terminator form, and he says that he's looking for Sam and Grian, and that Taurtis has been neutralized. And then Jay, also from Yandere High School, shows up. And remember how in my first video I briefly mentioned that Jay got into science experiments? Well, now he's visiting this time from the future to save Sam, Grian, and Taurtis. He brings them all into his future car, but something malfunctions and he's unsuccessful, and now I'm unsure what time we're in from now on. Whatever, right? So they all go to find Okami at the police station and fill her in, right as Terminator Rowan shows up, and he's too powerful for the SWAT team, so several people die and they have to run away into this SWAT van that Okami drives far away. She takes them to the hospital from a few episodes ago and says that the aliens must have been the ones that sent the Terminator after the boys, so they have to kill the source, which is probably in this conveniently placed massive alien spaceship looming over them. They get all suited up, which includes Taurtis becoming One Punch Man. Why not at this point? Anything goes. They all storm into the hospital where they use old people as human shields in their fight against Terminator Rowan. A long-ass and frankly quite boring shootout ensues, until they eventually make it up to the roof, where they get into a helicopter that they use to get up to the alien spaceship.
This makes sense.
Once inside, the ship seems to be alive, like fleshy. And once they find the aliens, they're a bit unusual. Like, one of them is Doraemon, as in the cat from the cartoon. The aliens try to fight with the power of dance, but it doesn't work and they all die. After some more exploring, it seems that these aliens might not have anything to do with the Rowan Terminator. None of them recognize Sam despite him being who the Terminator is after, which wouldn't really make a lot of sense.
They didn't even recognize Sam. The Terminator is after Sam. Have you got some sort of master plan to take over the universe or something, Sam?
Even further inside, after watching some alien sex act,
Sam, I don't know if we should be watching this.
the guys happen upon some higher-ups who, just like the first group of aliens, go down pretty easily. In fact, most of them kill themselves before the boys even touch them. Eventually, they find the alien's leader, Taurtis kills him with his One Punch Man abilities, and they blow up the control room, and all is well. Despite the boys just coming to the conclusion that these aliens might not have anything to do with the Rowan Terminator is never brought up again after this point. I thought the AFMAU cinematic universe was bad about bringing things up just for them to never be mentioned again, but goddamn, Tokyo Soul blows all of that out of the water. And look, right there, another example that perfectly exemplifies my point. The next day on the way to school, they see this huge herd of minions that seems to be led by this dude called Forzer, who bears a resemblance to Frieza from Dragon Ball. Forzer challenges One Punch Taurtis to a duel, where the loser will be absorbed. Don't threaten me with a good time. Forzer goes down pretty easily, but then all of his minions get mad and go after Taurtis. So the boys kill all the minions. And none of this really ever matters. Does anyone else feel like they're on crack, or is it just me? The same day in Mr. Chupa's class, they once again summon Cthulhu, and the whole class ends up in this little time warp dimension. I'm sure that everything I'm saying right now sounds like a prank, but I promise this stuff just happens with little to no buildup. In this time warp, Igbar says that he and Cthulhu share a body and mind now, and they decided that they don't have to destroy the world because Sam is going to do it for them, and Sam is the quote-unquote cause of it all. So they all get brought back to reality, and Igbar/Cthulhu joins them because he wants to watch the world be destroyed with a front row seat. How nice. After a couple episodes of straight unrelated nonsense, including a violent car crash and a live minion dissection, a robot shows up to the boy's house and he says that he's looking for Taurtis, per the request of his master, a supervillain called the Steampunker. And his goal is to kill Taurtis before he gets too strong.
Get over here!
Now that the boys are set on becoming superheroes, they meet up with Kuro, whose alter ego is Kuro the Lion, and his partner in crime, Radiation Man. They're not very relevant right now, but Radiation Man does come back later. After some nonsense with these guys, they all meet up with the Steampunker at a warehouse, where he's accompanied by his sidekick, Toaster Boy, and the Sex Bot. Not a joke. Her actual lore is that she used to be a human, but Steampunker turned her into his robot slave. And then Taurtis kills her. What a life. And then he kills the Steampunker along with her. Once again, these people are never relevant after this. I don't smoke, but goddamn do I need a cigarette right about now. Next episode, we get a very, very special guest star near and dear to my heart, in a way. It's Aphmau, and in-universe, her and Sam met in an anime chat room.
Yeah, are you the person I found in that anime chat room? We were talking about...
It's me!
That checks out. She goes to school with them as usual, nothing too out of the ordinary, until Mr. Chupa's class, where he once again makes the class perform a ritual. Aphmau reads the ritual out loud as instructed, but she f***s it up, which ends up opening this portal to a demonic dimension filled with, you guessed it, a bunch of scary demons. And this whole part really directly mirrors the alien spaceship part from earlier. It has the exact same format. They wander around a little, see some demons f***ing, explore some more until they find the so-called center of the dimension, where Cthulhu seems to reside. He says some more stuff about how Sam is destined to destroy all of humanity before he says that the only way to close this portal they opened is to sacrifice whoever opened it by throwing them into this pit of despair. Aphmau's the one who opened the gate up, so seems like she'll have to die. Please, 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 please. So they sacrifice her, they make it home, the portal's closed, and we never see Aphmau again. How does this affect the lore of the Aphmau cinematic universe? The next day, the boys find their way down to the school's basement, and inside lies this weird labyrinth filled with identical pathways. Deeper inside, they find this person dressed in robes that warns them and says that if they're down here for too long, they'll lose their humanity. They ignore her warnings, and further in, they find this room filled with parkour. Once they reach the center, they find the Necronomicon, which makes 2 references to H.P. Lovecraft in this series. As soon as Sam picks up the book, they get transported back to their reality but a few hours earlier, and Sam declares that this must mean they're in a different timeline.
I don't think he remembers. Dude, we're in a different timeline!
I mean, sure, if you say so.
Bam, you're a nuisance to society in every timeline.
So the thing I left out about the Necronomicon is that it can talk, and he and Grian are bonding. Sort of. Grian is kind of being manipulated, and he believes everything it tells him and does everything he asks. They try to get Grian to give up the book to prove he's not addicted to it, but he can't. They chase Grian around for a while, and when he's eventually cornered, he gives it up to Sam. And almost immediately, the Dom from this new timeline robs Sam at knife point, and Sam just gives the Necronomicon away. I sure hope this doesn't have any dire consequences. When they wake up the next morning, the whole town is on fire and seems to be taken over by these zombie minions that eat people.
This makes sense.
I literally feel fucking insane. The minions are all wearing Dom's hat, so it seems like he's behind all of this. And it also turns out that if you get bit by one of these zombie minions, you turn into one, which is exactly what happened to Taurtis. He's a minion zombie now. The Jerry from this timeline has a plan to save the town, and the plan begins with them heading to the power plant, but they don't get very far before Jerry gets jumped by zombie minions and eaten alive. Jerry, you will be missed. For at least 3 seconds. Sam and Grian make it to the power plant where they find Radiation Man, who admits that he was the one who invented the zombie serum that Dom's minions got into, and he has the antidote. The power plant gets overrun by minions, and Radiation Man sacrifices himself to buy Sam and Grian some time. They try to use the antidote on Taurtis, but it doesn't seem to work, and Taurtis just explodes. No time to mourn, they just keep running until they find Dom's evil lair. It's very inconspicuous. Dom reveals that he's not human anymore, he's death itself, and the only way to stop the minion zombie apocalypse is to get to the Necronomicon, which he is now in possession of. Whatever will we do? Well, Dom dies pretty quickly and Sam and Grian get the Necronomicon. What, like it's hard? They ask the Necronomicon to bring Taurtis back, and its solution is to bring them to a timeline where Taurtis never died in the first place. Before they go on the hunt for this timeline's Taurtis, the 2 of them put on disguises so that Sam and Grian from this timeline don't recognize them, or else it would create a time paradox and everyone would die. Or something. So turns out the Taurtis in this universe speaks Japanese and not English.
How's it going?
Boku no namae wa Taurtis desu. Shiku.
Or at least he repeats the same handful of Japanese phrases in hopes that we won't notice. A couple episodes go by of Sam and Grian debating their course of action. Do they kill this timeline Sam and Grian and take their place, or do they kidnap this Taurtis and bring him back to their timeline? Decisions. Eventually, they drown the Sam from this timeline, but several people are around to witness the crime. So, they massacre all of the witnesses, which ends up being most of the people at the school. Taurtis is also a witness, and he runs away. They chase him down and reveal their true identities to him, and they try to come up with some lie that'll get him on their side. But nothing even matters, because Taurtis reveals he could speak English the whole time, everyone at school knew Sam and Grian's identities, and this isn't the first time that a Sam and Grian have tried to abduct him. In fact, it happens every week, and the whole school goes along with it for entertainment.
Yeah, I kind of figured that out ever since you guys were stalking me outside.
He speaks English.
He speaks
Of course I speak. Everyone in this town speaks English. You guys think you guys are the first Grian and Sam to come and try to abduct me? Yeah,
What?
this happens like every week.
Oh.
So we just kind of go along with it and have fun.
Okay, well, we just
And then make you guys
killed...
battle each other and stuff. It's so funny.
I can't imagine it was very entertaining this time around since half the school just fucking died. Anyway, by some strange yet arbitrary means, there are two Jerrys now. One Jerry kills the other Jerry, which creates a paradox, and they all try to flee as the universe glitches around them. They try to enter a portal to get back to their original timeline, but they end up in their house, floating in an empty void. Igbar is here too, and he congratulates the boys. The Necronomicon says that they've successfully linked all the worlds together. They ended the world, essentially. This is all that remains, and Cthulhu's prediction about Sam ending the world was right. Time doesn't pass here, and none of them can die. If you jump off the edge, you're just teleported back up. Igbar tells the boys to have fun, and he flies off into the vast expanse. And that's literally the fucking end of Season 1. I initially intended on talking about Season 2 as well, but it's unfinished and doesn't really relate that well to Season 1. And Season 2 doesn't have Taurtis or Grian, so all of the likable parts of the series are gone. I think since the original story ended with Tokyo Soul Season 1, it's an acceptable place to call it quits. So now that we're finally done, what the hell did we just watch? It feels like every episode they spun a wheel filled with weird shit, and no matter what it landed on, that's just what they had to do that day. There wasn't much of anything that connected everything together like there was back in Yandere High School. Back then it was still pretty weird, but I feel like at least Yuki being a murderer was the backbone of the entire story and was pretty consistent throughout. Now there isn't a backbone. We're like one of those weird deep-sea invertebrates. You can argue that everything with Cthulhu was the main plotline, but that doesn't explain any of the other weird shit that happened. Everything with the Taurtis clones, Professor Geode, the aliens, the minions. I think if the goal was to make a funny, nonsensical sci-fi story, Yandere High School was not the place to do that, and it should have been a completely different universe from the get-go. I feel like what Sam's trying to go for would be better suited for a more episodic series, where each episode's plotline is contained within itself, and there's only a loose, overarching story connecting everything together, which could be the Cthulhu stuff. It's also worth noting that the humor changed a lot between Yandere High School and Tokyo Soul. I said in the last part that I think Yandere High School does have some funny moments, mostly attributed to Taurtis and Grian. But here, Sam just really ruins everything with his wannabe edgy humor. I don't mean to spoil the fun by any means, but the humor this season is almost entirely based on the deprecation of Taurtis and Grian, oftentimes them experiencing racism or assault at the hands of characters whose only purpose in the series is to sexually assault others. If a character's entire gimmick is that they sexually assault people, and that's both where the joke starts and ends, I don't think it's very funny. Honestly, I don't have much else to say. There isn't all that much of a plot for me to comment on, just that Sam is an asshole now. More than before. He's so much worse in Tokyo Soul that Taurtis and Grian can't even redeem him. But I do think that I have a fun little theory that can connect everything together. In the zombie minion episode when we head to the power plant, it seems to me like this isn't a coal power plant. It might just be a nuclear power plant, given these cooling towers that we see around. Now, I'm not here to spread any anti-nuclear energy propaganda. Nuclear energy is not the enemy like some scary stories or pro-coal lobbyists would have you believe. However, I think for the sake of our story, I'm gonna say that there might have been some disaster at this nuclear power plant, perhaps related to the subtly named Radiation Man. Maybe the disaster caused the entire town to be poisoned, and the story that we see is the result of radiation poison mass hysteria. A little outlandish, but it makes more sense than anything that we've seen so far, so why the hell not? So that's that. Sorry for the abrupt cut. I didn't film an outro in the moment, and now I'm home from school for winter break. But thanks for joining me on this journey. It was definitely a hell of a one. But now that I'm done with this past semester of school, I have more time to work on videos. As I'm sure a lot of you know, AFMAO recently uploaded a trailer trailer for My Street Season 7 and said that it's coming soon. So as soon as My Street 7 is done airing, I'm gonna have a video on that, but I anticipate it's probably gonna be a while. But I do have some fun ideas of what I'm gonna do in that video, and I think you guys will really like it. In the meantime though, I do have some other ideas, and I kind of want to talk about something that's not Minecraft related if you all will have me. Let me know what you guys think, but I think I want to do an Animal Jam video next, and then after that I'm going to talk about LPS Popular, since LPS Popular is resuming soon, and I kind of want to talk about like LPS YouTube as a whole because that was a huge part of my childhood. I'm really excited for both of those, so hopefully you guys see the vision and are down to see me do something kind of different. Let me know what you think. But for now, thank you guys again for joining me. Every day I am blown away by all the support that you guys have given me. It is genuinely a dream come true, and I'm not exaggerating. It means so much to me. But yeah, that's all I have to say for now, and I'll see you guys next time.